eyewitness views at 5 on 5.
These are the shots of the shuttle Challenger just before the explosion, and then tragedy. The shuttle disintegrated before our very eyes, leaving America shocked and saddened. Good evening, everybody. I'm Stan Stoval.
And I'm Deanne Lane. Never before has a NASA project ended so tragically. This evening, 6 astronauts and a school teacher are dead. The results of an explosion that still has NASA and the world puzzled and stunned. The blast occurred just a minute after the Space Shuttle Challenger lifted off from Cape Canaveral in what appeared to be a perfect launch.
Challenger, go and throttle up.
It was to have been a new phase of the shuttle program with the addition of citizen astronauts. But schoolteacher Krista McAuliffe and the 6 other crew members apparently all lost their lives. Krista's family was in the stunned crowd at Cape Canaveral. For a time, hopes rose when parachutes were seen in the sky. But space administrators reported that they were paramedics dropping to the crash scene in the Atlantic some 18 miles offshore. In Washington, a lawmaker astronaut, Senator Jake Garn of Utah, reacted swiftly to the tragedy.
So as they went to advance the throttles, obviously you're calling for greater acceleration, more fuel going into the main boosters. There could have been a problem with a failure in the tanks.
Was built only a few parts of the Space Shuttle Challenger, the propulsion subsystem used in orbit, as well as returning to Earth. Sources at the St. Louis-based company say company phones lit up immediately after this morning's accident, but the company's only official statement so far is to express regret over the accident and sympathy for the families who lost their loved ones.
For 1,500 high school students in Concord, New Hampshire, it was a day death touched them. It was assembly time, and the students were watching and celebrating local teacher Christy McAuliffe's blast off into space. And like most high school assemblies, it was a time to cut up. But
I know I've spoken to hundreds of students, and the excitement that they have for anything new in the classroom is always...
St. Louis for the 1988 GOP convention. That's according to Missouri Republicans who have been lobbying to bring that convention here. If it happens, it would be the first national political convention in St. Louis since 1916. Republican officials say not only would it bring millions of dollars into the local economy, but it would focus nationwide attention on the city in a way that only a convention, a Super Bowl, or a World Series can.
Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi today continued his verbal attacks on President Reagan. At a rally of his countrymen, Gaddafi denounced the president as a man maddened with power and nuclear weapons. He drew his wildest response when he declared that his country is stronger than the U.S. 6th Fleet. Well, apparently the snow didn't hamper rush hour traffic this morning. Area traffic divisions say there were no more accidents today than usual. Lots of sunshine, though, the rest of the day.
Yeah, let's talk more about that snow, all right? Let's talk more
about it. It did come as a surprise. Actually, it was snowing when I got home last night, about 11:15 or so.
I'm going west on 40, and I see the snow coming down. I said, my gosh, I'm going to turn around and get back on the air. But it was a complete surprise to all of us, and I got to tell you that weathermen and meteorologist types around the Midwest are bemiffed, befuddled, and bemused over this surprise snow last night. But it very quickly melted or is in the process of melting, and I think it's all going to be gone by about 24 hours from now because temperatures...
Very quickly, we should mention Dick Ford is off tonight. He's on assignment. He should be back later this week. But up next, Mike Bush with a look at how the Super Bowl aftermath has left a cloud over the New England Patriots.
He'll also report on some very good news today for Blues coach Jacques Demers. Stay with us.
All right, we'll throw that away.
Okay. Let's get to sports. The Blues called a news conference for noon today to announce that coach Jacques Demers has been given a contract extension. Now, Demers had 2.5 years remaining on his current contract, so now he's signed, sealed, and delivered through the 1988-89 season. This is the hard and important.
Happy New Week.
Thanks, Mike.
Bob's up next with a look at what he calls our renegade snowfall.
And a look at tomorrow's forecast. Stay with us.
Mostly dry throughout the area, so no big problems. And we don't expect any more renegade snow tonight. We have a cloudy sky and 34-degree reading at Lambert Field. Your relative humidity 56%. Winds out of the southeast. The barometer rising. High record-breaking lows over the sunshine state of Florida. And we'll report on that tonight at 6.
Okay. Thank you, Bob.
L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the controversial Church of Scientology, is dead tonight. A church spokesman says Hubbard died Friday from a stroke at the age of 74. Hubbard, a science fiction writer, founded the Church of Scientology in 1954. In his later years, he became a recluse and hadn't been seen in public for the last 6 years. Hubbard died at his California ranch.
Still ahead, a look at the teacher scheduled to go into space. That's still ahead, so stay with us.
It's Bosley's Law. If you don't see green on your storage bag, you could see red.
Throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger.
The worst disaster in the history of